morning. Welcome to the K-Files. Hey, JP.
Good morning, Miss Sandra.
Good morning to you. Glad you're with me this morning. I wanted to start off by talking a little bit about those folks in Florida, not forgetting Western North Carolina at all now. We have to continue to pray for those folks because it's going to be a long recovery. But so what have you seen this morning? I mean, they said it had to get light before they could really tell what the damage was.
I saw where the roof of the Tropicana stadium is at.
Oh.
It's gone. It's completely been destroyed.
Oh.
And apparently they had sent some drones up kind of doing some surveillance overnight or early this morning, and really that's the only thing that I've seen.
Yes.
But it was bad. I saw a lot of flooding this morning while I was getting dressed, and yeah, from what I've seen, I think it could have been worse. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's still bad. Well,
I think hurricanes are weird because it was supposed to go to Tampa, which I didn't want it to go to Tampa, no, but they kept saying Tampa, Tampa. Well, it ended up Melbourne and some of that area really got it worse than Tampa. So, you never know where those things are going to go. I mean, you never know where it's going to end. So what is it down to now? Category what? Do you know?
No, ma'am.
1, 2?
Last I saw, which was overnight, it was like 2.
Well,
did you see the press conference that the president and the vice president had yesterday leading into this?
No.
They talked more about false narratives, misinformation, beware of untruthful statements, things like that. And I didn't really get the context of what they were trying to accomplish from holding this press conference. I've never really seen a president and a vice president hold a joint news conference over a impending storm.
I didn't even know they did.
And they kept referring back to Western North Carolina, fake news, false narratives, misleading information. I've talked to troopers that have been deployed. I've talked to law enforcement officers that have been deployed. I've talked to people with other government agencies that have gone out, even volunteers to Western North Carolina. And there's one thing that all of them have said to me directly, and that is they don't have a lot of the resources that they need. And that's not false information. I mean, that's firsthand knowledge.
Well, when you send 150, how much was it, $1 million to overseas?
Billion.
The other day. Billion.
Billion.
Yeah, billion the other day. I don't get it.
Yeah.
Our folks need to be taken care of. Our people. No, they don't have the resources they need. I'm sure they don't. And it's really, really sad.
Can you imagine losing everything you've got? Your home is gone, there's no water, there's no power. Everything you've got, your pocketbook's missing, your ATM card's missing, banks are closed, everything is gone. And somebody comes up to you and says, look, we're going to deposit $750 in your account. Okay, you don't have an ATM, you don't have your card, the bank's closed, there are no ATM machines. No. That is just,
it is.
You'd have been better off not even offer it. It's like a slap in the face.
Keep it. You gave all that money to Gaza and everybody over there and the illegals. I mean, you gave all that money to the illegals, and now you want to give me $750? No, that's okay.
And really and truly, from my perspective and my opinions, I think they have a tremendous amount of resources deployed to the southern border.
Yes.
They are giving aid and assistance to these people, right or wrong, that are coming across the border. And say what you want to. That's why there's not a lot of resources available for Western North Carolina.
Absolutely.
You can't be in 2 places at one time.
That's right.
I mean, it doesn't work that way.
That's exactly right. Well, our sheriff and a team went down there to Boone, Watauga County, and he's coming on next week. I tried to get him for today, but he's speaking somewhere today. But so he'll be on next week to tell us about his trip. We're really excited about it, to see what he, you know, what his experience was down there in Boone. So Asheville area, Kings Mountain. I don't know how in the world it went all the way up to Kings Mountain. Isn't that a ways?
And all the way up to Black Mountain.
Yeah. And Black Mountain too. Yeah. It just don't make sense.
Yeah. Been a lot of flooding. One of the guys told me, one of the troopers told me, he said, JP, it looks like a war zone.
Oh my gosh.
You know, it's not just that light lines are down, light poles are gone, bridges are gone. And
see, our power people can go down there all they want to, and they're trying to assist, and people are saying, well, you know, all these people still don't have power and all those. You've got to understand, it's the infrastructure. How can they work on the lines and get the power back on when the infrastructure's tore up?
Yeah.
They get down
Power
there and the poles are all
gone.
down. Yeah. So they're doing the best they can to wait till all that gets in place. So they're going to be down there for a while trying to get everything back. But I don't know, I don't want to make this statement, but I don't know that the mountains of North Carolina isn't going, I think they're going to end up worse than Florida with this Cat 5.
Yeah, I agree. This will go,
so
recovery here in North Carolina is going to go on for years.
Yeah.
You know, as you know, my wife's a funeral director and embalmer. They got an email about a week or so ago needing aid and assistance from any funeral directors that can volunteer to go out west and help with body recovery,
Well, they're asking for body bags. Did you know that? They're asking for body bags.
And think about the cemeteries that are on the side of a mountain, okay? People that have been buried, okay? In a mudslide, that cemetery is annihilated. I mean, it pushes everything down a mountain. Ooh. You don't know who's who, where's where. I mean, it's just unimaginable. It's like my friend said, it's like a war zone.
I hate to even think about it. But some of the areas, Blowing Rock was one of them. Blowing Rock was welcoming people to come. They said, we're settled, we're good. You can come see the rock and come visit our city now. But when you come, they made sure they said, don't get in the way. Don't, you know, just, you know, you're welcome to come, but don't get in the way. So some of these people are trying, even Pigeon Forge was welcoming people, because this is their big tourist. I get it. They're trying to get something out of it, which I don't blame them. Just so you don't get in the way, like they said. But who's going to go? I mean, I hate to say it, but not that many people are going to want to go. But anyway, they are trying to get some normalcy in the areas that did not get hit that hard. So I have a friend that has a house in Blowing Rock. She's fine. I mean, her place was fine. She had some water in the yard, but they didn't get hit, you know, that hard. So anyway, we're going to stay on our normal schedule. We're going to go to break and come back and talk about some cases with you right after this. Okay, welcome back to the K-Files. You know, we always like to do our Hot Now because, well, we like to do our cold cases, but then we also like to let you know some cases, a couple of cases maybe that is going on hot and now, right now.
Several
I'm
things.
going to let JP talk about that this morning.
Several things. Apparently there was a shooting or robbery overnight around 2 a.m. Robbery occurred at the 2200 block of Meadowbrook Road in Rocky Mount. There's really no details other than that. The other thing I wanted to talk about and share was, this was from yesterday, but it's still something that's I found interesting, and it involves transportation of school children, but juveniles wearing masks got on a school bus in the infield area and actually assaulted a child passenger of the bus. On Tuesday, October the 8th, 2024, at approximately 3:58 p.m., the Halifax County Communications Center dispatched officers to an area of South McDaniel Street regarding suspects that had actually got onto a school bus wearing ski masks. The information was phoned into a concerned, was phoned in by concerned parents who had got a message from a child that was on the bus. The information was that 3 individuals came onto the bus wearing hooded sweatshirts and ski masks. Information was received that suggested that the individuals in the ski masks were attempting to attack other children that were on the bus.
That is terrible.
That is just...
That would scare me to death if I got a message as a parent from my child on a bus like that. And I know it scared the kids to death. And you know what? They could have only done that for kicks.
Yeah.
Only for kicks. That's the only reason they did it.
And they better hope they're not still there when I roll up and I got that message.
You best believe it. Oh my gosh.
Members of the Enfield Police Department, Halifax County Sheriff's Office, and the North Carolina State Highway Patrol responded to the incident. According to officers that worked the investigation, at least 1 student was indeed assaulted by the suspects wearing ski masks. There was some information from some of the other students that were present on the bus at the time of the assault that indicated that there was a firearm present, but that information could not be confirmed.
That would have been
That
bad.
would have been bad.
Oh my goodness.
You know, where is
Teenagers.
this world headed to?
I don't know. You can't even ride the bus.
The suspects were not present on the bus. Naturally, when law enforcement officers arrived, Detective Montez Fields of the Enfield Police Department is leading this investigation. Charges are expected to arise from the incident for the 3 juvenile suspects. The Enfield Police Department would like to thank the Halifax County Sheriff's Office and the North Carolina State Highway Patrol for assisting in that investigation. You know, that just goes to show you that's in rural Halifax County. If it can happen there, it can happen anywhere.
Yeah, absolutely. It can. Well, if you know, so they had on masks, so ski masks, so they're not.
It doesn't say that they made an arrest, but it also, it leads me to believe they know who they are.
Right.
Just in reading
Because
the
of
article.
The comment that was made. Well, if you do know for a fact that it's a friend of yours or somebody you know that did this, please contact Halifax County or 406-6736 on the screen, Halifax County Sheriff's Department, whatever. But if you know for a fact somebody did this, please, there's the hot, Purnell's on it this morning.
He is, Johnny on the spot.
So there you go. Crime Stoppers for Halifax County is 583-4444.
The other thing I wanted to talk about briefly is, you know, about a year ago, there was a farm worker that died, and WRL got involved, and you know, a lot of the public kind of turned on local farmers about not giving their workers a break, and you know, WRL kind of pushed a narrative that it was heat related. But anyway, the North Carolina Medical Examiner's report shows that the farm worker that died last year had pre-existing conditions, and it was not related to heat.
Right.
That it was basically his heart. An autopsy report released by the North Carolina Medical Examiner's Office shows that Mr. Mendoza, a Barnes Farming Corporation farm worker who died last September, passed away from a pre-existing condition and not from heat-related conditions. The medical examiner's report shows that Mr. Gonzalez Mendoza died from a cardiac arrhythmia related to an undiagnosed health issue, highlighting apparently like some type of a tumor that he had in his heart.
Wow.
So, you know, I know down my way especially, these farmers take care of their workers.
Yes,
I mean,
they
that's
do.
how they get their crops to the market.
Mm-hmm.
They're not abusing these people.
Right.
They provide them a place to live. And I mean, these are not the same type of places that, farmers provided in the 40s and 50s. These are nice government regulated, government inspected type housing
Right.
situations that I would be comfortable living there. But these farmers look after their health.
Yeah, they do. They do.
And plus these people do jobs that I wouldn't want to do. You couldn't pay my lazy tail enough money to want to go out here and work in heat,
neither.
in the wind, and the rain. And my hat's off to them. I mean, they earn every dime. They deserve every dime they earned.
I'll
Yes,
tell you that.
yes.
They do work.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, and I do want to mention, I have a hot now of my own. I was a little irritated when somebody, an adult not associated with this college at all, they were from Tarboro, drove on our campus. Do y'all believe they drove right in the middle of campus and hit a transformer, knocked out the power. Knocked out the power, some kind of gas leak, everything, all because somebody was, I don't know, it's believed that probably on drugs. I don't know. But anyway, because 3 o'clock in the afternoon, come on. Are you really going to drive through the middle of a campus in a field right out here? I mean, honestly.
I guarantee they were on drugs or
They were on
drunk
something.
or something.
They had to be
Yeah.
on something.
Yeah.
But anyway, then they jumped out of the car and ran to the food line. So hopefully they got them. And I appreciate your efforts in doing that because it cost me about a few hours of extra work that I wouldn't have had to do, that I could have focused on my real work. So thank you. But anyway, now that's my soapbox. I'll let you go on.
I do also want to say thank you. Off the air, you gave me a gift a while ago, and I just, a lot of folks may not know it, but I love shot glasses.
Oh, yeah, well, I didn't know that. I had no knowledge of that.
Anytime I go on vacation or go somewhere like that, I look for an odd, unique shot glass, and she gave me some little miniature Donald Trump shot glasses that was of him moments after he had been shot.
Yep.
It
says, take a shot for him. He took one for you.
I like that. Thank you so much.
Well, you are certainly welcome.
One of the last cases I know we were talking about last week were Tammy Pierce, Shelby Outland, Paul Pierce, and Nicole Privet. I remember us talking about that one.
Yes.
Okay, I do remember us talking about Alcindor Wadrick. Let's see. Okay, I do remember us talking about Timothy Arrington. Let's see. I don't remember Mr. Robert Lynch. Tony Circle. Okay.
We can do that one.
All right. So here we are talking about Mr. Robert Lynch. This case is from August the 10th, 2017. Robert R. Lynch, who was 44 years old at the time, was in the early morning hours shot to death outside of 152 Tony Circle in Rocky Mount, North Carolina. Someone found Robert Lynch laying outside with gunshot wounds, and they called 911. Again, Robert Lynch, August 10th, 2017, 44 years old, found shot outside of 152 Tony Circle in Rocky Mount, laying in the yard with gunshot wounds.
We don't have a lot of information about that. No car descriptions of any kind, or no clothes descriptions.
Time of day, anything like that.
Time of day, none of that. But if you know Robert Lynch from Tony Circle in Rocky Mount, I don't know where Tony Circle is, so I can't say, but that's a shame that, and that was in 2017. So, but, we say this every week. If you know, you know. Don't matter when it was. If you were involved in this or you knew somebody that did this, you remember. So you need to let somebody know. 406-6736. We have $15,000, y'all. In the pot, we can give you up to $15,000 payout within 48 hours. Cash money. if you come forward on this case, or any case that we talk about, or any case you know about. If you're the tipster, we're going to pay you out. So, pay out. So, anyway, give families closure, please.
You know, one of the things I had talked to, and I wanted to share this with you, and I might as well just go ahead and share it on the air. You know, my nephew murdered my brother-in-law and basically killed my sister here a few months ago.
Right.
And we hadn't really shared a whole lot of details on it, but, you know, it is what it is. He took a plea deal this past week, and he's getting 29 years in prison, effective immediately. So the good news in that, the family doesn't have to go through a long, ongoing trial. I kept my opinion to myself, and you know, my brother-in-law's family kind of made the ultimate decision in that, and my hat's off to them. Prayers go out to everybody. I mean, it was a tough situation. My nephew had struggled with addiction, and it just came to, you know, it spiraled out of control. And, and it does. It
does so much to people. I mean, it can cause so many things, and the trials, as you said, if he took a plea deal for 29 years, let it go, because, you know, the family don't want to, they've been through enough. Yeah. They've been through enough.
And I'm glad now we don't have to see pictures on the wall. We don't have to hear intimate details, you know, learn sad things,
yes.
You know, all of that being played out and published in a newspaper, talked about on the news. I mean,
Absolutely.
It's over. It's just over. He's 40 years old, so he would be, what, close to 70 years old if he lives that long.
Right.
But anyway, thanks to the sheriff for his hard work on that case. Thanks to the district attorney, the judicial officials involved in that. I know I'm greatly appreciative to everyone that kind of helped put that together and put him away.
Yes.
This next case here, James Earl Harper. James Earl Harper. This case is from September 6, 2017. Around 2:15 a.m., Rocky Mount Police was called after a passerby saw a man laying on the ground at the 500 block of Arrington Street in Rocky Mount. Upon arrival, they found James Earl Harper, 65, suffering from gunshot wounds. Mr. Harper had died of his injuries. Mr. Harper was walking to a 24-hour store near his home on Boone Street. His wallet was missing and he had no money on him. There were two different caliber shell casings found, indicating that there was definitely more than one suspect. Again, James Earl Harper, September 6, 2017, 2:15 a.m., and this was the 500 block of Arrington Street in Rocky Mount.
Okay. If you know, please, if you see something, say something. That's what law enforcement tells us the most. If you know something, say something. Okay. We will, well, I guess we need to take a break. Purnell was letting us know, so we'll take a break, get some weather, come back with some more cases right after this. And welcome back to the K-Files. We will continue with our cases this morning. Keenan Marshall Mercer.
This next case is that of Keenan Marshall Mercer. Date of September 15th, 2017. Keenan Marshall Mercer, who was 21 years old at the time, was riding his bike near 843 South Pine Street in Rocky Mount at 9:40 a.m. in the morning when he was shot and killed.
And that's it.
And that's it. That's what we have. Keenan Marshall Mercer, September 15th, 2017, 21 years old, riding his bike near 843 South Pine Street, 9:40 a.m., shot and killed while he was on his bike.
That's what's so amazing to me. 9 o'clock in the morning, you can't even ride your bike.
Yeah, I mean, it's daylight.
Yeah, absolutely.
At 9:40 in the morning in September.
Yeah. So we don't have any more information about that one, but we may ask the Rocky Mount Police Department to see if they can give us a little bit more, because, you know, we've talked about that case several times, and that just bothered me that, you know, the 21-year-old kid was just on a bike, riding down the road, and he gets shot. Okay.
Now, this next case we've talked about and
So
talked
many
about,
times.
yes, and you know, he was my barber and great guy, Randy Colgrove. Randy Colgrove. This case is from October 21, 2017. Nash County Sheriff's Office responded to a person laying in the driveway of a home on Highway 58 in the Sandy Cross community near Vibrant Road, just outside of Nashville. Once on the scene, they found Randy Colgrove deceased from gunshot wounds. And you know, depending on who you talk to, they swear they're this close to making an arrest. They're this close.
Yes. And they have a suspect,
yeah.
but they just can't. You have to be able to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt. You have to be able to prove it.
It's a shame because you know, if they're that close, that means that suspect knows they're on to him or her. They know it.
I think they think it's more than one. They have reason to believe it's more than one person.
I've always thought that too.
Yeah, but we don't know. But it seems that way, and the house is very, very, very much off the road. If you ride down 58 to the convenience center where people take their trash, there is a road right before you get to it if you're coming from Sandy Cross going down 58. It's a long path. You can just see way, way down there. So nobody would have ever seen anything. I mean, there would never have been any witnesses to that. So anyway, we hope. They're working the case very hard, and Captain Sherrod tells us that every time he comes, and they're working it very hard. They've just got to have the proof. Proof's got to be in the pudding.
And you know, whoever perpetrated this, you know, they've talked about it. If nothing else, they talked about it with the people that they perpetrated it with. You know, I would like to reach out to them and say, look, you know, turn on your friend. Turn on your friend. Cut yourself a deal. Come forward. Share the information that you know. Get this off your conscience.
And get you some cash money.
That's right.
Because we'll give it to you. We'll give you cash. I mean, we want to solve this case.
This next case is Leroy William Dunston. Leroy William Dunston. It's from December 23rd, 2017. Leroy Dunston, who was 44 years old at the time, was murdered at a card game at 843 Gay Street in Rocky Mount. Around 4:55 a.m., police were called to respond to a shooting. When police arrived, they found Dunston in the driver's seat of his vehicle, suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. So it sounds like to me he had been to a card game there at 843 Gay Street. It doesn't say he was shot in the vehicle. It just says that he was found in the vehicle, in the driver's seat, suffering from the gunshot wounds. So again, Leroy William Dunston, December 23rd, 2017, 44 years old at the time, murdered at a card game on Gay Street in Rocky Mount.
They labeled this case a house of cards, is what they call it. And the house was it was not lived in. It was, what do you call them? And it's a card. They
like
go in there to
house.
play cards, or it's kind of like a liquor house or whatever. But anyway, that's kind of what this house was. And there's been speculation, you know, we've tried to speculate up here. Lyndall and I used to try to speculate on this one, but sounds like to me he was shot and then tried to get in the car and just
lost consciousness.
Yeah, just couldn't make it any further. Couldn't make it out of the driveway. So multiple gunshot wounds, multiple. So he wouldn't have made it far probably. But anyway, if you know anything about this, this card house on Gay Street, which is off of, Gay Street runs parallel with Sunset. You can turn on to Pine Street and Gay Street crosses that. But if you know where 843 Gay Street, if you know what happened, 5 o'clock in the morning, I mean, you really have no business playing cards at 5 o'clock in the morning in a courthouse. You really don't. But anyway, if you know what happened, you know the drill. 406-6736 or Crime Stoppers 977-1111. It's a Rocky Mount case. Or text a tip. Now you can text. You can also text. And there's that number on the screen. So it is anonymous. We will not, you know, there was a case that was just solved close to Tarboro. Me and JP do not know who the tipster was. We have no information as to who turned in the tip. We're just thankful to that person that they did that their conscience got the best of them, and they did that. So.
This next case is Jamal Rashad Harris. Jamal Rashad Harris from June 2nd, 2018. Police responded to a shooting around 4:30 p.m. at the 600 block of Cleveland Street in Rocky Mount. When police arrived, they found Jamal Rashad Harris lying in the street and suffering from gunshot wounds. While en route to the ER, he became unresponsive and he passed away. Jamal Rashad Harris, June 2nd, 2018, 4:30 in the afternoon, 600 block of Cleveland Street in Rocky Mount.
And here again, 4:30 in the afternoon. I mean, broad daylight. So, Cleveland Street, I'm trying to remember where Cleveland Street is. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with
I think
that.
it's close to Sunset somewhere. But anyway, if you know Jamal Rashad Harris, if you know the situation, please give the authorities a call. Please give them a call. As we said, completely anonymous, and we'll be happy to pay you within 48 hours. You'll have your money, and you'll have it in cash. We give it to law enforcement, and we don't talk a lot about this on the show. Probably need to talk more about it. Teen Cold Case is a not-for-profit. The K-Files operates under that, and we have fundraisers to raise this money so that we can pay you. So right now we could pay you up to $15,000. So please come forward if you know about any of the cases that we talk about from week to week. Even the hot and nows, you know, you could possibly get paid for one of those. So anyway.
I do want to say that in listening to the Watauga County Sheriff talk on Facebook, the Franklin County Sheriff talk on Facebook about the damage in western North Carolina, they've got plenty of supplies. Same thing with the Highway Patrol Kitchen. These people need volunteers.
Yes.
They're asking for volunteers, especially if you have a group of men or volunteers in general, that if you would get a group together and reach out to the Highway Patrol Kitchen or reach out to these different groups into western North Carolina, they need labor. They need volunteers to help clean up, to help prepare meals, things like that. So in the coming days, continue to keep Florida and western North Carolina in your prayers. But
Absolutely.
if you or someone you know that can offer up some help, please do that.
Well, we all know it was us to some degree in Rocky Mount from a tornado. But, you know, we need to pray for them because it could be us.
That's right.
You never know. With hurricane season, the way it is, it could be us. So anyway, where is the Highway Patrol kitchen housed? What town, what city?
You
Where's
mean
it
like
at?
right now, where's it deployed?
Well, no, where does it stay? Where is it?
See, it's
Where's
brand
its
new.
home?
I think it stays in Raleigh.
Oh, okay.
I think it stays in Raleigh. I'm assuming so.
Yeah.
But the Troopers Association headquarters is in Summerfield, Summerfield, North Carolina. So
Okay.
I don't know if it's housed there or
I would love for
assume
us
Raleigh.
to get a really good picture, like we did the command center of the sheriff's department. You know, we went in the command center and took some visuals and just I would love to, I know it's deployed right now, the kitchen is in the mountains, but when it gets undeployed, I would like to take some pictures of it and just really, because the Highway Patrol really, really does a great job of doing stuff like that, like the caisson unit. I mean, what can you say? So anyway, I'd like to do that. So
I'll
maybe
work on
that's
that.
on the horizon, so that we can take a look at it. So, all right, that's all for today, JP.
All right, we'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.